Hi, this is going to be reading for water signs. Water signs and water sign energy. The reason I say water signs and water sign energy is that you don't have to have any placements, or any placements that you want, or none at all. I'm just glad you're here. I'm going to make a separate video about elemental energies and our natal chart. Everybody has 4 sets of trines of the elements in their chart. So for instance, water for me, though I have planetary placements in water, water rules my 3rd, 7th, and 11th house. So the way that those 3 houses coordinate with each other and the concerns of those houses may be reflected in an elemental reading. That's why I don't do sign readings. It's also because they're exhausting. And you get too caught up on your sun, your moon, your rising, whatever else you look at, when we're all the elements. So watch what you feel compelled to watch. Like I said, I'm glad you're here. So water signs and water sign energy, we are going to do a Whatchadoin spread, starting with the Fountain Tarot. The way I do Whatchadoin spreads is I put all my cards face down on the table. Put the first card down for the situation's energy, second card down for your energy, water signs. That one wants to come out. One up top for the guiding energy, one down below for the room to grow. One off to the side for the past energy or influencing energy. One off to the other side for the potential future outcome, advice, or warning. Thank you. So let's get started. Water signs. Excuse me, I'm going to take a drink. Okay, thank you. For the situation's energy, Five of Swords. Okay, fine. 5 of Swords. This could be the nature of the situation, or it could be somebody in your energy field. Okay? This is trickery, mind games, unfairness, disillusionment. I don't know if that's a word. It's the idea that a figure is playing and manipulating communication in a way for their own benefit, to ensure their victory, to ensure that they are on the higher ground, even though they don't realize that they are putting themselves in a great risk by doing so, causing others or other energies to kind of just walk away, forfeit. Okay? And this person, or I should say this energy, represents lesser integrity, meaning, like from a sports point of view, that there is less integrity in a victory by forfeit. You know, you want to win fair and square. This is not somebody that cares if it's fair and square or not. They only care if they win. And this could be an issue that you see within communication. Okay, thank you. Water signs, yeah. Your energy is confusion. I feel like somebody is confusing you. Somebody could, the way that they're maybe, what information they're providing, what information they're not providing, the way that they're communicating with you, it's causing you, I really don't like this dynamic, because this dynamic speaks to me very loudly about what gaslighting is. It's somebody that, gaslighting is what happens when somebody first denies your reality and does that to confuse your reality so that they don't get caught in their trickery. This is being confused and kind of stalled and stunned, like, wait a minute, I didn't think that it went like that. If you feel like, wait, that's not what I thought about that, or that's not what I remember happening, or that's not what happened, that's essentially what I'm getting out of this. It's a, what? that's not what happened vibe. It's probably not. You're right. It's probably not what happened. This is an individual trying to keep an upper hand for some reason or another. Okay, move on. I get really heated about these types of things, so I need to cool it. Nine of coins. Hanged man. Okay. There is a needing to take a different perspective. And the perspective that might be needed to take is, it might be just to disengage into understanding whatever their anecdote is, how much does it affect your life? And how much does it need to be involved in your life? If it's a work situation, it might have to be involved in your life a little bit here. But there's a certain amount. I'm looking at her face and I'm seeing, concern is what I'm seeing on her face. And sadness. Confusion. She's questioning her own reality. So we're going to work through that together, okay? Six of coins. Six of coins talks about fairness in an agreement, in a deal, a contract, fair compensation, a fair exchange of goods and services. This is also a card about mending, mending and recuperating. So this shadow here in the back of the card is can signify a return, returning to mend and regain balance. This is also because the 6 follows the 5, and the 5 is a fallout or a difficulty or a hardship. This is the recuperation of it. So the thing is, this shadowy figure here, then with the situation being a 5 of swords, I don't like this vibe. Don't like it. Here's the Magician in the future. Now, because it's the future potential outcome, advice, or warning, I want to read the best out of this card about, having personal authority to create what it is that you want in your life. But because of the situation that I'm reading about right now, I see this as a master manipulator. Can you use Rider Waite to clarify? One more shuffle, please, for water signs. You can embody, the future outcome could be that you embody the magician energy by gaining the perspective and the enlightenment to not have your emotions swayed or confused by the efforts of another person. If you know what you know from your inner guidance, from the time taken away to gain a bigger perspective, and that you don't have to have what your reality of a situation is. This could be a work situation with the Pentacles, but your reality of a situation altered. You can just stick to what you know, what you're worth, your own autonomy, your own stability, and then in the future be in a position to divinely co-create about it. You know what I mean? All right, great. I know about the Six of Coins. Is that somebody returning? It could be, definitely. And here's Black and White Sphinx leading this chariot. This is the influencing energy. So it's influencing both you. This could be a new agreement or a different version of an agreement. It's kind of a grand entrance, to be totally honest. It's kind of like this arrival, and I'm just confused of why there's so much confusion in this energy here. Because without these two cards here, I would be like, oh yeah! And then with the Magician, everything else, for some reason, your energy and another person's energy here are not fitting the surrounding energies. And I think the reason is because within the situation, there is falsehood. And that's something you might be intuitively picking up on. And because you're intuitively picking up on, it unsettles your body. Your emotional intelligence, your intuition is getting triggered. However, a lot of people, most of us as people, I'm going to be totally honest, I don't think that this is a special experience. We want to feel special for this, but I don't think it's a special experience. I think a lot of us have great intuition, and we constantly get gaslit out of our intuition because others don't want to get called out or be held accountable for their crap. So they use their other skills, their tactics, to confuse us, and then we get bogged down with worry that we're being sensitive, reactive, too emotional, to this, to that, when in actuality, you're reading the room like a book. That's all I'm going to say. I love this Queen of Swords. I love this Queen of Swords. This, I am reading the room like a book here. I am looking at this, and here's the thing, this is in the situation's energy. This Queen here, this Queen of Swords, the communication, the intellectualizing, the logical exchange. But look at this person again, putting themselves on higher ground, giving little bits to these other two people, these little tiny bits to these other people. And I just feel like there is an unfairness, an imbalance that you recognize because there's a greater picture of understanding that you recognize that is making the whole context more uncomfortable. Can I know more about water signs energy with the Seven of Cups? Interesting, with the Two of Cups. You know, it could be a situation where you think that you're sharing open honesty with somebody. You're being open and honest, and here's another thing that can be tricky about us. Not us water signs, us as people. Just how I said about, well, we get gaslit out of our intuition all the time. This is an idea of how that gaslighting works, because it's like, well, I'm just going to believe what they say to me. I'm just going to believe them. I was being open and honest. And so what this person's telling me is being open and honest too. I'm not saying they're being totally dishonest. I'm saying they're being strategically honest for their own gain, for their own upper hand, for whatever that means. Again, if this is a work situation, it could easily be about if a position for you to move up in a rank is available, if you're qualified, a pay raise, different work negotiations, you being fed crap, but kind of getting tricked and dicked around to accept it. Okay, then I guess that's the way that it is. I like this energy. 9 of coins. It might be a work situation. And you might be trying to change. It's a work or some type of group dynamic. Okay? Of harmonizing parts, okay? Harmonizing a group, gathering everybody, mutual respect is a part of the 3 of coins. But along with the death card and the transformation, this is guiding energy, is a transformation of how you see yourself, how you value yourself, and maybe a transformation of the work that you do or how you do your work. Okay? And if it's more interpersonal than that, it's how you stand up for yourself and how you declare your own autonomy and your value within relationships. Thank you. Hanged Man. Perspective, enlightenment, letting things be. Because you can take people at face value. That's a very interesting thing. So if you always trust that people are telling you who they are, believe them. But then create your own boundaries of how you interact with them accordingly. Okay? Hanged Man. Water signs, room to grow as a hanged man. Water signs, room to grow. Hanged Man in the Strength card. Set your boundaries accordingly. And that might actually be watch your mouth. You might be triggered wanting to fight it. Honestly, you might. Or you might be, that's another thing. It's somewhere in between triggered and wanting to fight and argue about something, or that space where you are super avoidant of wanting to fight, so you don't say anything. But then either way, you feel guilty about either direction that you go. So there's a harmonizing of healthy communication of hurt feelings, healthy communication of where you are confused, where you feel that something is not fair, and essentially how you want to be treated moving forward. And this is so your perspective on what are you restraining, where you are just lovingly accepting something because then you're being good, you're doing good. Are you respecting yourself by doing that? Is it in fact reflecting what your side of things? Or are you just harmonizing to harmonize to not be a problem? There's that. So gaining a different perspective on what restraint is and what will is, what personal will is. Okay, thank you. Magician. Overcoming obstacles, overcoming adversity. This is a lot of willpower put to the test. This could easily be backlash. Future problems. Future things that now are set in the way of you creating to the best of your potential. should you be in a position now where you are not speaking authentically from your heart. It's going to kind of, it looks like it has a possibility of being uphill battle. Take one more from the top. Has a possibility of being an uphill battle should you not stand up for yourself, your emotions, what your truth is today. Okay, thank you. That's it. Water signs, I hope you enjoyed that. Got something out of that reading. And keep your eyes peeled for affirmation videos. They're short. They're just feel-good readings to have things to meditate on and to consider your inner world and being positive, looking at things mindfully as we move through the world, right? And then check out the other elements, elemental readings. Like I said in the beginning, we have all of the elements. We have 4 sets of trines in our chart, so we have all of the elements present in our natal charts because they are always present. They are never gone. And a full moon collective reading coming up by the end of the month. Okay? See you later. Bye.